And we are live, sort of, at the Central Regional.
Yep.
That messes me up every time.
I know.
Biceps and Bullets, episode 3, the redo. Our last one sucked so bad we had to scrap it. So
Nice.
hopefully,
Oh, this will be good.
hopefully,
This will be good.
hopefully we don't suck for you. But we're sitting here with Nick Fory, and currently sitting in
8th.
place.
Yeah, 8th.
Kicking ass and taking names. We're sitting here talking about the Kevlar shorts
Yeah.
that he sported in yesterday's
Right.
work.
All day.
So what I want to know is, can we test the ballistic value of those?
After today. Yeah, go ahead. I'll be done competing, so I'll be good.
Yeah. Cool. So,
Well, actually, I have a pair of Reebok compression shorts that are Kevlar, and they've got a hole on the thrusters on Friday, ripped from the top of my butt all the way up to through the groin area. So I was all like hanging out on after the thrusters that day. It was only the third time I wore them, and the Kevlar already ripped. So I have to talk to him about that.
yeah, no kidding. All right. So we said we're here with Nick. Nick, just give us a brief intro. You know, who you are, where you're from, how long you've been CrossFit.
Okay,
that type of stuff.
yeah, Nick Fory. I'm from Madison, Indiana. It's a small town on the Ohio River, southern Indiana. I'm a co-owner of a gym, Mad City CrossFit. I've been CrossFitting. I always get it mixed up. I think it was either the end of 2008 or the beginning of 2009 when I kind of started tinkering around with it, and then kind of sustained an elbow injury, limited me from doing the whole traditional weightlifting, like back and by day, stuff like that. So when that got better, January 2010, I was like, CrossFit, I'm going to try this out. I knew there was a competition in Columbus, Ohio in I think March of 2010. So I signed up for that, started doing it, qualified for my first regional in 2010, and just been going at it ever since.
Was that before or after Great Lakes?
That was
the
before.
first Great Lakes.
Yeah, that was before. That was the year before. The first Great Lakes was in 2011.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first time I ever met you.
I met you
Yeah.
there. The legend of you was great. When I don't know, did your anchor ever tell you this?
No, I heard stuff about him going into it, but I never heard anything about me.
I knew Nick from from 2010. We had level 1 together.
Okay.
But we showed up at Great Lakes, so I know him and Bryn, I think. But there was grumblings like, this dude from Mad City, he swings kettlebells till his lips turn blue. I was like, whatever.
That's
and then
funny.
lo and behold, I think you did that.
Yeah,
day.
well, I got the 50 unbroken at the end of that workout and took first place on that chipper or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
I got 4th in that. So
yeah.
you and Nick got 1 and 2. Cody got 3rd, and then
Yeah.
I finished 4th. So, yay, everyone.
That's fun.
All right, so you've been CrossFitting since about 2010. That's about
Yeah.
when I started too.
Yeah.
And you've been in regionals basically every year.
Yeah, this is my 6th regional now.
6 regional.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a veteran of sorts.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, well, I haven't made it to the big show yet, but, we'll see what happens today.
Yeah, well, anymore I would call the regionals on par with the games. I think any athlete in regionals could participate in the games and do well.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's anymore like the programming for the regional. It's like sometimes it suits one guy and may not suit another, but I think you're right. I think just about anybody could compete at the games depending on, what happens at regionals.
Yeah, I mean, I only went to regionals 1 year in 2012, and I know that the gap between top 10 and like the middle 20 was pretty glaring. As much as I hate to admit it, I was 16th. You finished what that year, like
5th or 6th in 12.
Yeah. So the difference between 16th and 5th was pretty drastic.
Yeah.
So anyway, how are things going this weekend?
They're going well. Not as planned. 3 of the 5 I did worse than practiced, and it's kind of hurt me on the leaderboard a little bit. The other 2 I did better than practice, so that's good there. But I'm sitting okay. I'm in 8th. I'm happy with that. There's a lot of good guys at this region. I don't like that I made some mental mistakes and dug myself in a hole. It's not representative of what I should have been doing, but it is what it is, and go out and attack today. it's a new day.
Good deal. Yeah, so kind of going off of that, regionals is a long weekend, physically, mentally, emotionally, especially. There's highs and lows. Kind of like a yearly training cycle. You're going to have highs and lows, and things are going to ebb and flow. And it's kind of like the same thing. From my experience, is that things are just kind of condensed into 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's extremes. How do you manage that? How do you deal with the emotional regulation of kind of highs and lows?
It's hard, and I think that's something that I've gotten better with through the years. And I think this year I have a somewhat different mindset because, me and my wife talk a lot, and this may be my last year competing. Just the mental grind throughout the year and the physical grind and the toll it's taken on my body is just tough, and I just have to really ponder whether or not I want to do it. So I'm trying to just use this weekend and have fun and take it all in and enjoy it because, if it is my last, I don't want to have any regrets, and I don't want to say that I wished it away or anything. So I just want to go out there, have fun, and do my best, and see what happens.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like I'd mentioned to you before the weekend started, the one thing, if I could go back and do it over again, the year I went to regionals, is just soak it in and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Whether or not you make it to the games, whether or not whatever happens, things go as planned, things go better than planned, things go worse. Just enjoy it, and soak it in on the floor. Hanging out with everybody is just so much fun. It's stuff that once you go away from competing, you don't really see a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
And it's just a little different. So just enjoying it and soaking it in.
I mean, the Open comes and so many people sign up, and it's like less than 1% make it to regionals. So there's so many people that would be, that would give a lot to be out here competing. And so I don't want to take that for granted and just say, oh, this is just another regional. I'm just trying to get this weekend over with and get home. So I'm really trying to just enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah.
Sweet. See what I can do.
Cool. So going on to the next topic, like you said, the amount of time that it takes to dedicate to competition. So if you want to get to a regional level, even if you want to just do well in the Open anymore, the amount of time that it takes from a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly standpoint. Tell us about your schedule, because I know you're not a full-time CrossFitter. Well, you are a full-time CrossFitter, but you also have about 3 other full-time things that you're doing.
I have a lot of stuff going on. So I work at a chemical plant, just operations. So I work a rotating schedule. I work 3 12-hour days, then I'm off 3 days, then I work 3 12-hour nights, then off 3, and then back to days, and so on.
What's your hours?
So I work 6 to 6. So I work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for 3, off 3, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. for 3, and then keep rotating. And then any overtime that's mingled in. So sometimes it's 4 days in a row. Back in September, I worked, I think it was like 21 of 23 days. So I was working about 96 hours a week in September. So there wasn't much training in that month. But, so I do that. And then, so the majority of my training comes on my days off. So I usually do one long session. It's usually 3 or 4 hours on my off days. And then on the days I work, I've got it kind of down to a science. It's taken about 4 years to get it here. Yeah. So I usually work out on my first and third after work for about an hour and a half, and then I work out before I go in for nights. And then when I'm working night shift, I don't work out at all. I pretty much just work and sleep. I try as soon as I get home from work, I go to bed, and I don't wake up till I go back to work that night.
Yeah.
So
that's probably the smartest thing you could do.
It helps with recovery. I mean, the best you can. It's not going to completely negate the effects of working that night shift. Right. But it's going to do as much as it can to
mitigate things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, I'm a co-owner of a gym. I have a 14-month-old boy at home. My wife works at the gym as well as at the local high school. We teach a strength and conditioning class through our gym, so we do like a CrossFit class up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's going well.
Yeah, I could get the details from you on that. I'd love to start something like that.
Yeah, it took a while to get going, but they just signed us on for a second year, so we're excited. So hopefully we can do some stuff with the sports teams around town and turn them around.
Yeah, trying to beat that stuff into high school football coaches' heads, though.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
they know everything.
Well, that's the one sport that is giving us the most resistance is football. Yeah. I mean, like we got basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, all the other ones, but football, they just have a hard time.
For some reason, football coaches think they know everything about everything.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Not to slam on football. We both played football,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
too.
But they
yeah.
need it the most, probably. I mean, they need the strength anyway the most, and so we have a lot to offer them, and we'll keep working on them.
Yeah. Crack the shell. Awesome. Yeah, so that's a full plate. I know a lot of our athletes at our gym are cops. They are parents. They are, work part-times and trying to fit training into rotating shifts. We deal with a lot of those same issues that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's one of those things you have to kind of make sure your sleep is on point, your diet's better than what it would be if you had a little bit better of a job, or not a job, a normal schedule, I should say. And then just do a lot of recovery. So you just kind of got to listen to your body and get to know your body real well.
what do you mean by recovery?
So, I mean, foam rolling and, lacrosse stuff, stretching, cool downs, good warm-ups. Like I said, sleeping, resting when, it's an off day. Don't do these active recovery days. Sometimes people do an active recovery and they're like, yeah, I just PR'd my 5K row. It's like, that's not that active.
That's no longer any type of recovery.
No, yeah. So it's like for me, if I'm taking a day off, it's pretty much complete rest and recovery, and I eat a lot of food and try to just, refuel.
Yeah.
Recharge.
What do you do for diet? Anything specific?
I don't do the paleo. I eat pretty clean. I've been eating a lot more rice and potatoes, leading like through the open and up to regionals, just trying to keep my carbs up. And I've noticed it's helped me a lot since I do one training session, that 3 or 4 hours a day. Before adding all those carbs, toward the end I would feel run down, and after adding a lot more carbs, I feel a lot better through the end of it. So other than that, I just try to stay away from mostly breads and fried foods and stuff like that. Just eat.
No.
I eat a lot of meats, veggies, and potatoes, rice, ice cream.
Cool. Last thing I got for you is we were on the Doug's program, the Hyperfit, for a while. Got a chance to go up and train with you a lot up in Ann Arbor. Absolute blast. Neither one of us are doing that right now. What are you doing right now as far as program? Just kind of overview.
So for last year, I've just been kind of doing my own thing. I started a squat cycle kind of through the summer, early fall, and then kind of just searched online for a weightlifting program and just kind of stuck to that. I try not to bounce around too much on the strength training and weightlifting programs, but just stick with one, maybe whether it's 12 weeks or 8 weeks, just finish it, kind of get on another one. And then as far as my conditioning, Metcons, I pretty much make it up day to day. Here recently, I've been like, on Sunday, I'll write my week worth of workouts in and then do those and then do it every Sunday. But most of the year, it was just kind of wing it.
Yeah.
So it worked well. I mean, I feel good. I had a relatively good open score.
I would say so.
I PR'd a bunch there in the winter. I mean, I hit a 360 clean and a 270 snatch, which were lifetime PRs for me. So things were good.
Cool.
And then I got that tendonitis that you and I talked about, and that kind of slowed me down.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put something together, just like a rehab protocol for like stuff like tendonitis like that.
Yeah.
Anytime we get athletes that say, "Hey, I got low back problems," it just drives me out the wall. So, just so we can prehab that stuff before it happens.
I mean, just sitting here now, it's starting to kill. It felt good yesterday. I don't know. I guess maybe that heavy snatch that fell on my neck.
Style points for that,
though.
Yeah,
I wish.
Awesome, dude. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
thanks
man,
for taking the time. I know this weekend's a total whirlwind.
Yeah.
So that's all I got.
Well,
I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys.
All right.
It's been
Good
fun.
luck the rest of the weekend, brother.
Appreciate it, Anthony.
We're pulling for you.
Thanks.